I wonder what this thing is that someone left at my house.
For those wondering what that noise is at night that you're hearing, where you're hearing it go like, it's called a katydid, and it's because it kind of sounds like katydid, katydid. All right, little katydid, please move, please move. Oh, there we go. Here's some milkweed and some mint. Please go. Please. Please. Oh, bye. Some bullshit. Trying to sleep, bro. People are dying over here. Can I film it? Can I film it? Yes. A monarch, guys. Can you believe it? Can you freaking believe it? Whoa. Wow. I'm really excited. It's been a while since I've seen one. This is maybe the second one I've seen all season. They are actually endangered now. They're listed as endangered. And yeah, so it's good to see it in my yard. It's why we plant all the milkweed that you see. Very specifically so that butterflies like that very specific butterfly can have somewhere to be and not, you know, go extinct. Welcome back to 26 gigabytes free. So, today I did my data backup. It is the 9th day, 8th month, 2022. And this is the first day where, like, actually it's felt like autumn. It doesn't really feel like summer. It feels like late summer. Like very late summer. It's surprising, like I went outside anticipating it to be like it had been every other day for like the last like literal week, maybe 2 full weeks. And, you know, that is to say, I thought it was going to be like 95, 99, 100 some odd degrees Fahrenheit, or like 40 degrees centigrade, you know? But instead, it was like this like cool, calm, 80, mid-80s, and so I was super stoked about that. So, you know, I walked out and realized it was nice, got my bike, packing some weed right now. Ooh, I may have to go back in and get some more weed. This should be alright to tide me over for the day, but I'll have to reload later. This is a heavy indica strain that I'm smoking. Some updates. So, earlier today, I edited July up and until July 8th. It's only about 30 minutes of editing, if I'm honest. It was not a lot of editing. Mostly what I spent my time on was creating the new YouTube channel that is going to be strictly devoted to Pokemon content. I probably will not cross-advertise. I'm sure someone will dox me eventually if I get famous. I'm not super worried about that because it's like pseudo-kids content. Like it's not designed for kids, I swear. But, you know, I do plan to monetize it. This channel, maybe Patreon if it gets popular someday and people like what I'm about and like what I'm doing, but it was never the intent of me starting a vlog to make money off of it or have it be like a pseudo career or anything like that. But PokeTubing, you know, I at least want to leave that that option available because it seems, I don't know, worthy of at least not disqualifying the position, as this channel is clearly demonetized and disqualified from. So I set that up today, uploaded a couple games. I've been playing competitive Pokemon for like quite a few years now, like quite a few. I think I started in 2012, so yeah, full decade of competitive, and then before that, I hate when people get in my my verbal Mew bubble, and I was projecting quite loud for the camera, and then I came up on like a chick my age, and I'm like, oh, not even plus, yeah, probably like 5-10 years older than me. That just crushed me, man. That's a dysphoria wave. I'm like, oh, like, you know, you never know someone's story, but, you know, you see their youthful, capable, in-shape body, and you project your desires of success into them. Yeah, that's the vibe. So, okay, I just restored my settings from the settings. I just don't care anymore. So, check this out, dude. This is the old horse farm There used to be horses that used to walk here within my lifetime. And, you know, to be fair, it was kind of the odd one out, and they held out a very long time. They held out an entire generation is what they did. And so now, I mean, you know, they're the not fucking around phase of building now. I mean, look at all this equipment. I mean, this is enough equipment that they probably have, like, you know, a dedicated surveillance camera up, and I'd be surprised if they didn't. I mean, this is just, they should be paying the guy across the street, you know, $2,000 to secure their assets. They should be, you know, I mean, definitely setting up to protect their investment. I mean, this is an incredible amount of money and power that's going to be living here. I mean, just look, you know, they bulldozed, this was a forest, or at least something approximating a forest, and, you know, this is what's left of the forest. This is what we do to forests at scale. And, yeah, I mean, this is, so today is the 8th of August, yeah, this used to be a horse farm with a stream that ran through it, some forest, you know, it was a lot as big as you see, and all around it had already been developed, so it's like, you know, oh, why not? Why not just build more suburbs forever and ever and ever? Hold on, we're not in 1080. That's a hawk. That's its butt. It flew right in front of me and landed. I couldn't obviously film that because I wasn't already filming. But now I'm filming. See it? It's like doing, oh, it's facing me. It's preening. It's lording. What you up to, my guy? Wish I had my better camera on me. He's definitely vibing. I don't really know what he's doing. I don't know if that is his butt or his head, actually. I think it's his head. Yeah, it's definitely his head. Because he's like looking around and stuff. What you looking at me for? I wonder what he's up to. I mean, he's clearly flying. Like, he's not injured. Like, I saw him flying. Like, he's fine. I just don't know really what he's doing. Other than he sees the sun and he's saying goodbye to it before the day ends, maybe. Ho 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 ho. I had to whip my body around. There was no way I could turn because I'm on the bike. Otherwise, I would have kept filming. All right, let's go. They cut down the tree. Man, dude, that's brutal, man. That was one of my favorite trees in the whole place. That one hurts, dude. I'm really blessed that I got to film and see that tree before that they cut it, because, I mean, honestly, I get it. That tree was rotted and was coming down, but I think it had a while left before, you know, it would have gone. But I do understand, you know, they got the budget, they got the time. You know, I'll show you what I mean. See, and like, that tree had been dead for a while, and it was the type of tree that's like alive, but it's dead. So like, it was still blooming and stuff. Or maybe not even, honestly. I don't know, but this is definitely a different place than it used to be without this tree. That's wild, dude. Today is the 9th of August, 2022. Albany's Rural Cemetery, Menands, New York. Welcome back to Rainbows and Razor Blades, a show from the void. It's just really nice out here today. It hasn't been mowed in a while, but I really like that. Some people are like so mad about it. They're like, oh, I'm gonna leave internet comments. But I love it. This side obviously has been pretty mowed. I'm on a bike, I'll film. Wow. Oh my goodness. Sorry about that. Stuff in one hand. But yeah, it makes for a good panning shot. I'm gonna dip this way, and then I'm gonna leave my bike, and we're gonna go walking today. And we'll record as I walk. Thanks for joining, guys. Today's topics may be distressing and triggering for some viewers, and potentially against the terms of service for most mainstream websites. The themes and opinions expressed in this program should be considered entirely fictional, and should not be used for political or academic purposes. Facts are not checked, and no sources or citations will be provided. Should you choose to redistribute our broadcast, please do so only in good faith. Listener and viewer discretion is advised. It's not an ideal place for my bike, but I think I'll put it here. You know what, I'll put it, just like, it's an eyesore, that's the thing. So it's like, where do you park an eyesore? I guess you hide it behind this. That's gonna be, that's the play. because it kind of just becomes part of the other object. Like, people just look at it like, oh, bicycle, but it doesn't really draw the attention away from the scene. So it's like, if you're here doing like photography and you like really want a boring picture of like this exact thing, then like, okay, there's a bike in front of it, it's more aesthetic. But like, if the bike was like here, then you're like driving in your car. I don't know. That's just my thought. All right, let's get walking. I think we'll walk down, then up the middle ridge. That's what we'll do. We'll down, up the middle ridge. So we'll go down this way, over this way, up past the waterfall, up in this entire different way, over here. We'll cross the stream here. We'll get back to here. We'll get this, and we'll ride home. That'll be the day. It's gonna be a good day. Hi. So I was about to start and I set up and I got a good place and I started like, I did like a meditation, I did a warm up, I started like, I did like a fresh recording to like have my ideas a little more straight. Like I already like went through this once, but no, oh, it stopped, good. I was gonna say, I was just talking about my sensory integration and perception immersion disorder, so they say. It's not, I don't really like to talk much about it. The blanket understanding from me, the best group of people who understand me are the neurodivergent autistic types and those who have attention hyperactivity deficit disorder. Like, what a fucking stupid name. Go look up the guy on TikTok who calls it like Dave. That guy's funny. So I'm going to start off with who I am. And the reason I started off with what I just told you, I'm autistic, is because I don't have a qualified resume. I don't. I've never been to like school. I dropped out of middle school and high school. I don't have a prestigious degree. I'm not a genius. Well, I might be. But I'm not aware that I'm a genius. And definitely people are not aware that I'm a genius yet, if I am a genius. But they will be soon, and I'll put it to you like this. I'm the head of the fucking Megazord, dude. I know it. I'm a creative juggernaut, but I'm not organized enough to be able to take thoughts coherently. I'm like an engine without steam, or actually probably invert that. I am steam without an engine. Where's my engine, dude? I don't have the structure. I have only the energy and the directive and the vision and the power to make things happen. And I'm seeking basically my Megazord body because the head on its own cannot fight the giant lizard. Or in my case, the Cthulhu leech monster. Which, yeah, so... So, I'll tell you the end of my story. I'll tell you the end of one of my stories. And from there, you can learn what you need to learn about me, my process, my ability to remain coherent or incoherent. You'll see that where I hate the word, but disability comes in. And you can see where you'll pretty easily be able to form as the body, you know, if you are who I'm looking for. Because we'll need the editor, we'll need the processor, where like you'll hear it. I'm gonna be like and like outside everything's going around, ladies on the bike. What's that movie? Wizard of Oz. I'm like that scene, but it never stops spinning. It just doesn't stop spinning. And there's a reason that I find myself bringing people on board, giving them space, giving them ideas, but always having a vision and always remaining true to the energy, because my IQ, like my intelligence, I'm pretty smart, I think, but my EQ, my emotional intelligence, I understand people and I understand emotions. I understand story. I may not understand firmly the way to put literal pen to paper because I get stimmed out, and that's why I dropped out of school and I used to like go like this and cry. I hated the lights, and I hated the sounds of the children, and the smells, and the difference in air currents. I have to be outside all the time. Most of the time, between you and me, I don't wear a shirt, but I have to right now because, like, we're in public. And also we're on YouTube. You know, sometimes I talk in one voice, sometimes I talk in another voice. listen, I'm a very, very strange character, and there's no use trying to get to know me. But I'm going to tell you the end of my fiction, and you'll see whether or not that you can tolerate the way that it comes out of me. And if you want to get to know me, you can ask. Like, I'm an open book, because a lot of my inspiration comes from, like, my wellspring of my perception of self, or my complete lack thereof. like people like they talk about like ego death, but like I'm like, I don't think I have one of those. Help. I don't have one. I don't have a functioning one, at least. And that doesn't mean that I have low self-esteem. It's quite the opposite. I'm a megalomaniac, narcissistic, delusional. What is other people saying? People, there's some haters out there, man. People say some vile shit when you're in charge of things, because, 30,000 people, not to brag, but 30,000 people, it's not really much of a brag, actually, but a lot of people have submitted, work to plant we filmed back in May was red or white baneberry, and it's definitely white baneberry, obviously. They call this doll's eye, and it's extremely toxic. You definitely should not eat this. Any part of this, don't fuck with it. Oh, look at Daddy Longlegs. He's fucking with it. Wonder what he's doing. But yeah, you can touch it. Like, it's just one of those plants that's kind of out here. But you wouldn't really want to eat that. Yeah, it's called doll's eye. And, yeah, also known as white baneberry. That is its name. Holy fuck, that's creepy, dude. I don't like that. That's a spooky ass plant. And that'll turn more red as the season goes on and get a little bigger. I think those might be asters. I'll have to look that up. Fleabane's kind of tall. I gotta get away from that beeping, guys. Sorry, I am very autistic right now about that noise. Jeez, man, that is overstimming the fuck out of me. Whoa, look at these plants. What is this? I actually don't know what this is. This is the second time I've crossed this without knowing what this is. I have to get a picture really quick for my, my field guide, and then we'll be back while I'm walking a little more, I guess. Oof. Yeah. Oh, damn, I'm out of shape. Bet you I could walk this whole log. Holy fuck, it's wobbly as fuck. What is happening? Bruh. Bruh. I'm just kidding, I could have totally done it. Here, I'll prove it. I'll prove I'm not just talking shit. Ready? Ready? And then we go back just to prove it. Easy. I just thought it'd be funny to, like, I don't know, I guess it was kind of funny, but it wasn't like as funny as I had hoped. And now my shoe's wet, so it's like, it was worth it, but it's like for TikTok, you gotta like fake every single thing in the universe. I'm trying to teach you something about the world as a guru. Theme of it is blood, like Sanguinaria canadensis, the blood root, is this plant that looks like, blood comes out of the root. It's this beautiful little white flower, a very bizarre shaped leaf. But anyway, so that stuff grows, Canada. So Northern America, like United States, the border, is this like little trap town where you get there and you're trapped in the town. You end up there financially or for any other narrative reason, you're trapped. And it's kind of like this like symbol for the worst type of controlled state, where like they don't just want you out, they want you to not exist. And so this is wow, it's really beautiful. It's a geranium leaf. I'm not really sure why it's so red. Super bizarre. Maybe like, I don't know, it's really bizarre. So yeah, because here's the geranium leaf without I'm actually getting this tattooed. So hold on, I gotta get a picture of this for my okay, so I'm gonna tell you the elevator pitches for 3 of my stories. The central themes of them, many of which match up, but are just expressed kind of very differently through different characters. But I do like to write similar, I'm not going to be ashamed of it. It's just a little bizarre, but I'm transgender, and it's kind of its own character arc. To go from your old life to a new life is more what I'm writing, so much as like the gender aspect of it, which is part of only 2 of them, of the 6. But it is a central part of both of the ones that it is a part of. One of which is like a vampire, like if a Western movie was like a theme, like the Wild Wild West. Like if that's a theme, then this is like the Canadian middle of fucking nowhere version of that. The movie Horns is kind of, Into the Dark, Alaska, right? Like this is like, but it's not Alaska. It's the Canadian wilderness, and it's about reflecting on the core parts of humans and their desire to like basically kill, similar to Into the Dark. That's kind of what the movie is, but this theme's around gender, not around the desire to kill or be incestuous when in isolation. It deals with that a little bit, but it's expressed differently, and the vacuum between the autistic world and the inner world, or the outer world, sorry. Oh man, I just realized I have to go across it. That's why I've gone that way. It's a little bit of a stressor, but I can make it. Like I'm confident. It just means I have to like really apply myself as like a thing, because it's kind of a sketch crossing. You see what I mean? Like this is like high risk, but like low reward. I could go down and around, but I'd rather I'm gonna go down and around. Yep, down and around it is. I'm glad that I've been here enough times to know that down and around is like a thing, because a lot of people may not know that. Oh boy. So, what are some other ones that I'm writing? Oh my god. So yeah, we got vampires. Well, they're not even really vampires. It's more just like a cult of monstrous darkness that's like bloodletting rituals, and it's alluded to that they're like, I don't know. They're vampires, dude. They host this like extremely intense kink event 4 times a year, and that's like a central part of the story. Is the guy's girlfriend coaxes him into becoming like a goth transgender person, like a sissy fetish. It's trust me, I know how it sounds, but you'll have to trust me that it's worth indulging in, to understand why the story is brilliant, because it is. It's like, how is it portrayed in, it puts the lotion on its skin, that same frame of like disgust, but with good outcomes every single time. And it just keeps getting better for the character and better and escalating until the ending, where like maybe they'll sacrifice her. I don't know. I don't really have an ending for this one yet. There's this anime Shiki, where at the ending the whole entire thing burns, and I always loved that. I've noticed something about my writing recently. I like big stakes. I like small starts. And so a lot of the time what that means is you get a very reserved character that seems mild and unassuming, and by the end is proven to be ruthless and kind of abhorrent. I really like the slow burn builds of like Blue Ruin is a good movie. Walter White from that suspenseful series Breaking Bad. You know, there's a couple of people I look to, but it isn't really necessarily for influence, right? It's just I'm writing something, and I see similarities in their writing, but it isn't what I'm trying to accomplish, and it definitely isn't what I'm trying to model. You know, time and effort and you know, putting it to practice will tell whether or not that that's a good thing or a bad thing. I think it's going to be a very good thing, you know, because it isn't to put down those things. Again, I'm talking those things up, but I'm also talking myself up because I think what I'm about to accomplish is something as a brand that's different, but is also kind of similar. Mr. Robot had potential, similar kind of genre feel, but it didn't really go anywhere. Fight Club, another kind of like tone match. Memento, another good kind of, again, like, it in itself is kind of a genre piece in the way that I'm kind of trying to create a genre piece, but again, without modeling it. Like, I'm not looking to do backwards and black and white. Like, it's just not the trope I'm looking for. I think that's the kind of movie that you can only do as a masterpiece once, and then everything else after that is derivative. I'm trying to do not necessarily a masterpiece, but I'm not trying to be, I'm trying explicitly, I would say, I'm not even trying to not be derivative. It's just, I'm not derivative, and I'm trying to make that work. That's what it is. And I'm frustrated with that, because it's really difficult to do. There's a reason why. Oh, hey, a chipmunk. So I'll give you some examples of some of the ideas, the tropes that float around in my head. I'll give you just like the working title in my head and the archetypes, and I'll tell you sort of where the story begins, sort of where it ends, and sort of who the character is. So one of the stories is called Bloodroot. The working title is either Bloodroot or I Saw a Bat Once. And it's a vampire story. But it's a vampire story that takes a very bizarre twist. With, like, it indulges deep into BDSM goth death culture and kind of isolated hick-town culty Christianity. But it isn't so much like Christianity. It's like its own devotion to vampire aristocratic nobility that is like a quasi-religion. And so the main character is an MDMA dealer who basically was working with the police, but the police officer he was working with got promoted to detective 2 years ago, and it changed the dynamic entirely between them. The yarrow has gone to seed. It smells really good this time of year. So good. Should harvest some seeds. So, wow, that smells so good. I can't even think. Whoa, my voice coming back as an echo spooks me. So echoes are something that really they spook me. So I want to play around with acoustics as like part of it, because vampires, or rather bats, are echolocation, and it's kind of a metaphor for feeling around in the dark. And so during really tense, really creepy scenes, I want there to be like kind of an ASMR, but it's a girl's voice, and she's tempting you forward. And it's like, it's going to be this weird, like, the audience is kind of like getting subdomed. And so like the POV is every bit along for the ride of the main character who falls, not even falls, but more like, it seems like a fall from grace because it's a fall from God, but really what it is an ascension arc. I love ascension arcs. I love dark ascension arcs. Sansa Smith, kind of a dark ascension arc. I don't, to contrast, I don't think Anakin Skywalker is similar to characters that I like to write, because the angst never turns to manhood. That's kind of the point. And when it does, he's already kind of like a hardened sociopath in a way, but like, like if Mace Windu turned against everyone, where would we be? Anyways, I'm sidetracked by, it just smells so good. Like, it's like, I have to go back for that one. Where was that one? That's once in the universe, I suppose. Wow. We move forward. That was beautiful. Sad to say that. Tick check. Oh, so far so good. Wear light colored clothing, pro tip, you can see the ticks. Oh yeah, and don't expose your ankles or your legs. Especially don't wear baggy things, because they'll crawl up and they'll get on you and then you'll get ticks. So, Bloodroot. So the story as it goes, this dude bumblefucks his way into town. Basically I've told this story before, but like he crashes off of a bridge because he's going around the corners, eyes wide, terror. You know, close up of the rear view mirror, he's like looking, the moon's reflecting. He's like, you know, yeah, he sees a shadow, swerves, sees a shadow, swerves, crashes. Wakes up in the swamp, morning. Well, he doesn't wake up, actually. The camera wakes up, the character's still asleep. And we see down into like a gorge, like a valley like this, and the car's like flipped in it. And the tow truck operator, the wrecker, is there. And, you know, there's another, like an SUV behind it. But it's like a raised, not SUV, sorry, like a raised land boat truck. Like a huge, like, it's not quite military, but it's the biggest possible fucking truck you could possibly drive. And so 3 people go down to get him out. And so here's what these people represent. One of them represents pedophilia. One of them represents homosexuality. And the other represents cis heteronormativity. And these are like the 3 fucking horsemen of transgender women. Well, maybe not pedophilia so much as that one's kind of just in there to be creepy. Like, it's like there are no kids in the entire place is kind of the point. The closest to kids, the youngest people in the entire movie script are 22 years old. Like, that's like the youngest. And they're so young that they appear to be kind of even younger than they are. And it's mentioned later that, yeah, this dude's like, don't fucking talk to him. Don't let him around my daughter. Like, I still remember what he did. You know, the town knows his clothes are soaked in her blood. It's like creepy, you know? Queen Anne's lace to smell. Creeping thyme to smell. That one was not as great as I wanted it to be. Wood sorrel to smell. Wood sorrel, does it smell? Or does it just taste? Yeah, no, it just tastes. It smells... it smells like why you really even smelling it, though. Doesn't smell terrible, but just why are you doing it? Okay, so there's this plant called Sanguinaria canadensis, and it's a native to Canada where this takes place. It actually takes place just past the American border, because he was going to shoot this guy in Canada, the cop, the crooked cop. We find this out in a flashback. He's like on the bridge, and our character is like tactical off of the bridge. But then he's got like, you know, he like goes on the bridge and like does the deal. But then like, yeah, he like sees another car like drive in front. And then so he like runs, he like hits it in reverse and like guns it. And they like boop, 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 they like shoot at him, boop, 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 boop. And it goes through his window, like smashes the windows. Which like, we don't ever notice that, like that never matters because he crashes his car and that like smashes the whole window out. So how would you know that there's even bullet holes in it? Until they find it. And they do find a bullet hole. They find like 2 bullet holes in the back. And like he's like, I dug one out of the seat. So they figure out that he's like a weird criminal, and then they're like, what the hell? Who was shooting at you? Like, you were the guy involved. Here's what's interesting. They didn't put it out over the radio. It never went out. Think about that for a moment, because it's corruption. It's like they were both doing something illegal. It's like being in the wilderness. Like, you can't call 911 when you're in the wilderness, and you're out there with like so-called the police, but the police is scolded now. Right? Like, you're going to lose your items. That dude's got smite on. So, this character, their protect one item basically after they die and they lose everything and they burn out of the city. They have to completely reinvent their way of living, and they do this by assimilating into just like this weird biker goth underground where like the people who do it are like, they're both completely out of fashion but also completely in fashion but also completely rogue and something different. So it's like the style is really important, and my partner, I'm hoping, is going to help me. So here's what's modeled after. So there's this bike gang in this movie with vampires in it called, oh shit, wow, called the Lost Boys. We'll be right back. Building something. New roads, it looks like. Road building dudes. A job an autistic girl like me should not even attempt to do. Unless she loves it, and then she should do it. But like, I don't know. Damn, they got like a whole truck and all that. I'm trying to go this way, but they got the whole parade. Paralleling me, there's no way for me to get out without going on that road, and I can't get to that road or past them because I can't walk as fast as they're going, and I can't bike up the hill on the grass, so I'm just jammed. This sucks. It's goofy, but it sucks. Cinematic AF. Is it gonna do it? Let's go gravity. Oh. It didn't do it. Well, I gotta get water anyway, so I'll sit here for a little bit. I think they got